With active listings up and sales volumes down, what's happening with real estate prices and where are they going this year? We're going to answer these questions and that much more in this month's Toronto Real Estate Market Update. Okay, before we dive in, we love the questions that we're getting. Please keep them up. Actually, the last 2 months we've had the highest amount of feedback. Love it. Keep it up. We love hearing from you. And of course, if you have questions about your specific neighborhood and what's happening in your pocket, reach out. We're happy to give you a market update for your neighborhood. Okay, so let's jump into the numbers for June 2025. Okay, so as my lead up to this video suggested, we've got sales volumes down. Again, not a surprise. This is actually the second lowest sales volume on record. And not exactly surprising that, I mean, really, we're down 2%, which is not a significant number, but, there are some, I mean, it's not all doom and gloom. We are seeing actually some positive trends, which we're going to get to shortly. But still, we're not out of the woods yet by any means when it comes to a rebound in Toronto real estate. I mean, certainly the bull market is not back by any stretch of the imagination, but we are seeing mortgage rates decline, and we are seeing the 3-year fix in the high threes, which is good. 5-year fix are approaching in the high threes as well, but we still have a little ways to go. So those are some, early positive indications. But when we're looking at sales volume, it's not really surprising that they're at these levels. And, especially when we compare to active listings, like my lead up said, we're at basically the highest levels on record, which again, if you look at any month actually in the last 22 years, this is actually the highest that we've seen with active listings. So typically when you see volumes down and active listings up, prices typically go down. But what's kind of interesting is, yes, prices are down, but they are not down significantly. I think we've seen the bulk of price declines in the GTA. Certainly, that's what the stats would indicate. So, in terms of active listings, it looks kind of scary when it's up 30%. But one of the positive indications that we're seeing is that the absorption rate is going up. So the absorption rate is the percentage of sales relative to active listings. So when we're certainly not at the 50% plus absorption rate that we were in 2021, but we are grinding up slowly in that direction. Now, my forecast is we're going to see that come back down these next 2 months in July and August, and we'll trend back up come September. But one of the interesting trends that we're seeing is, yes, volumes are down and active listings are up, but we're having a lot of conversations with potential sellers who have decided to hold off on selling. And there's a lot of sellers that are saying, well, we're going to wait for market conditions to improve. So, what are we going to see this fall? Are we going to see a glut of new listings? Are buyers going to come back in full force? I don't know. It'll be interesting. But this fall market could be one of the most fascinating real estate markets the GTA have seen in the last number of years. So we're going to watch that very, very closely. Okay, so average price is down 5%. Again, this is on average. Now, one of the things that we're noticing is there's a dichotomy between freehold and condo prices. Condo prices have actually gone down greater on average than this. This is average again. Freehold, condos are all basically lumped into one here. So condos are down more, and there is greater softness in the downtown core when it comes to condos. Freehold market is also soft in the basically the suburbs, so in the 905 region. There is a little bit of strength that we're seeing in central core. Certainly, if you're in a desirable neighborhood in central Toronto, we're seeing a little bit greater protection there when it comes to downside in prices. But again, we're not certainly in multiple offer scenarios where we're seeing 10, 12 offers like we did several years ago. But again, it's early positive signs. But really, at the end of the day, we are going to be monitoring, these average prices. And when you're looking at the the inventory that we're seeing on the market increase at this rate, one would have expected prices to come down more. And this is basically showing that buyers are stepping in, um, and they're basically suggesting or feeling, I would say, the sentiment would be that prices are probably approaching levels where there's lower downside risk. Now, of course, that depends on the asset class that you're buying. I still think condos has greater risk because we're seeing a lot of new developments, completions this year, and those are a challenging market for anyone that bought in 22 or even 21 with those new condos now being completed. But so really, it depends on what asset you're buying. So, like, new condos is a tough segment right now, no question about it. Freeholds and central core are certainly stronger. Anything along the subway line, really, in Toronto, like whether that's East York, whether that's High Park, Central Toronto, like all those pockets are certainly performing better relative to the average. So just something just to bear in mind when we're looking at these stats. So again, month over month, we're down 1.7%. That's not unexpected. Typically, prices peak in the spring market in May, and they come down June, July, August. That's typically what we see in an average year. I realize this is not an average year when it comes to Toronto real estate, and it's a little bit of a interesting year, shall we say. So typically, we'll see a little bit of rebound in September. I'm curious to see if that happens this September. There are actually a number of sellers that have decided to list early. I've noticed that there's a lot of newer listings that I would have normally expect in July. Now I'm recording this early July, so see if that trend continues. But August is a slower month, and a lot of people are on holidays, so I would expect the numbers to look a little bit worse when it comes to numbers in August, but we'll see. So anyways, want to keep this video short. And again, love the questions that we're getting. Please keep the feedback going. Again, if you want to know a little bit more about how your neighborhood is performing relative to some of the others in GTA, feel free to reach out and be happy to discuss further. Thanks again for tuning in, and we will see you again next month. Bye for now.